Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Okay guys, it is very hot where I am. I have the AC off right now. I might have to turn it on for a little bit, but I'm definitely going to have to take a break in between me talking about this rite and doing the rite because, woo, it's hot. So, tonight what we're doing is the Solstar rite. And the Solstar rite is one that connects you with like the star family that you're connected to on a soul level, and it also connects you with like the information of your soul star. So we have, our 7 main energy centers, our 7 chakras. Then we have the soul star, which is Wiracocha, okay? And then you have the earth star, which is the one beneath your feet that's in the earth. So these are like the 2 that sometimes, people talk about. I don't know, I'm sure many of you have heard of your soul star chakra, but basically this is the soul star, right? And we're going to be getting all of that information that is in your soul star chakra, which is basically your soul source information. And we're bringing that down into your crown, into your third eye, into your heart, into your solar plexus, bringing all of that information into you on a soul level so that you can retrieve the information and start using it in a good way. So for me, I feel like this rite basically just puts you into alignment with what you're supposed to be doing as like a healer, as a light worker, or whatever, whatever your soul is meant to be doing. I feel like this really helps you to align with that and to retrieve the information of your soul. And then again, it connects you with your lineage. So those of you who did like the Kotakuna Carpe rite, say you guys, very much resonated with Alcyone, or you very much know that you're Pleiadian starseed now, this can help you to strengthen the relationship and get information from the Pleiadian emissaries of light. Or say you were somebody that's very much connected to the Syrian energy, it'll help you to connect very much more so with the Syrian councils of light, Arcturian, Lyran, Andromedan, Syrian, Avian, Vegan, whatever. Wherever you're from, this is going to help you to get more information, more connected to those beings, and, strengthen your relationship with them. So for me, I remember, I woke it, and had like a connection with the Pleiadians off the bat back in like 2011. And I know it got stronger over time. And I really feel like this rite helped me a lot, because when I went through the Munay-ki, I didn't just get the 9 rites. I got this rite with it. So it was like, boom. It was like, here you go. I got all 10 pretty quickly. They were spaced out over a few weeks of time, but I was a little late to the process because I didn't want to do it long distance, and I was like, let me find someone around here to do it with, and it ended up not working out. It was going to be like thousands of dollars to go do it with the Four Winds Society, and then the one person that does it around here, I was afraid of her, so I was like, no, I guess I'll do it long distance. And so by the time I started doing it, everybody else was already on like the fifth rite. And I was like, can you just catch me up? So I got slammed with the beginning of them. And then I caught up and, I went through the process. But on the last rite, she did give us the Solstar, right? So, I fast forward from the day that I got my last rite to like a year later. And I see how much it did really align me, because I hadn't done a whole lot of, I had done a whole lot of stuff. I had learned, Reiki, I had learned the new paradigm, I learned this other stuff like, angel communication and, talking with animals and this and that, all these other classes, and nothing was really taking off for me. And I was working at, a center nearby, and the woman would let me use her space, a few days a week, and I would just basically stand there the whole time like, I'm here, I can do a reading, I can do a healing, but nobody was coming. And then when I did the Munay-ki, it was like, everyone was like, I want the rites, I want the rites, I want the rites. So I started giving the rites to everybody. And it wasn't until like a year later when I was giving the rites to somebody, and I think I was reading, this information here, and I was like, oh my God, it worked. Like, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was not only then giving the rites, but I was hosting meditations in centers, like the center that I had been working at. You know, I started doing them there right around the same time I started doing the Munay-ki, like giving people the Munay-ki. And then there was another center nearby that wanted me to come work there. And so I was like bartering and working and changing and transforming and, you know, starting to have clients that wanted to see me regularly. I had one woman that would bring her son to see me regularly. And it just kind of expanded and expanded and expanded. So I went from having no clients, no people coming to see me, to like, boom, you know, all these people showing up. And it took me a full year to like register. So I feel like when you get the Rite, you may not, you know, initially be like, oh my God, I'm aligned with my purpose. Like it may take you a little while to realize it because it happens so fast. And I don't know, I just never really thought about it. There was a lot of things like that that happened for me with the Munay-ki. Specifically, it was like every time I give the Rite and I sit there with the manual and I, you know, read one of the Rite's information, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Oh, that's what that was. Like the time that I had the other arm come up off of my arm, I didn't realize that until like the next time I was giving the Rite and I was reading about, you know, the luminous energy field and activating that and all of the information connected to it. And then I was like, that's what it was. It was my luminous energy field. It was my light body that we saw. But in the moment, you know, it's like, but there's a lot of things that will happen like that, I find, for people, or it could happen for you once you go through having this Rite. It's like later down the road, you may look back and be like, oh my God, I got that Rite. And then, you know, a week later, I got, you know, some job offer or some, you know, big thing that happened that leads you into alignment with your purpose, your mission. And with the like connection to the star beings, I went from, you know, just kind of connecting with them on a personal level to doing like events where I would have, you know, the whole place sell out and people would want to come and hear me channel the emissaries of light, and they would all come and ask their questions. So, you know, I'd go into trance and, you know, go around the whole room. And then I started doing trance channeling on YouTube a couple of times and answering people's questions on here. And it's gotten stronger. And, you know, the Pleiadian emissaries of light have been working with me from the beginning. Like I knew about Alcyone Light Healing was coming, which is still coming. But I've known about that for like 9 years. But in the beginning, I had no idea like how to take it from, you know, a thought process or a thought form into writing or into speaking or into the physical world. Like now I can see things in my mind, I can write things down, like I can, you know, trance channel them, I can automatic write with them, I can, you know, basically just like they're always there. And I let them in on different degrees. So when I do automatic writing, I'm the one that's like, I'm always present. I never give over my full presence to them. Like when I do trance channeling, I feel like I'm right here and they take over the body and they speak for me or they speak for themselves through me. And then with automatic writing, it's kind of similar to that, but it's not as intense as the trance channeling. But you may find that you're able to do those things a little bit easier once you go through this Rite, once you strengthen your relationship with them. Or you may, in the beginning, just start seeing. Like, I remember, you know, back in the beginning of my process, I'd go outside at night and I'd see, like, these light ships and I would see things in the sky. I ended up buying a telescope because of all the stuff that I was seeing in the night sky. You know, I would have, like, times where they would let me know that they were there, and it was just like a feeling. And I'd go outside and they'd be there, you know, these big, huge, glowing bulbs of light, you know, changing and transforming in front of me. Even my ex had seen it. His mother has seen it. So it was like, I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm like, do you see that? That's not a freaking plane. That's not, you know, a helicopter. That's not, you know, whatever. We would go through all the things that it's not. And basically what it was them. But they would let me know when they were coming. So you could start having that stuff happen where it's like you just get a feeling and all of a sudden you're like, I think somebody's here. You go outside and they're there. So basically it just strengthens your connection to your star family, and they're going to show up for you however you're comfortable with them. And that's the thing too. People, if you get uncomfortable, if you get scared, they're going to leave. They're not going to want to stay if you're scared. So if you're somebody that goes outside and you're like, oh my God, look at that beautiful thing, but then you freak out, it's going to leave. It took me a while to, bring them in closer and closer. And it would be like 3 a.m. and I'd be outside in the middle of the yard by myself. And, they'd come wicked, wicked close, and I'd always freak out at the end. And then they, bye-bye. There was one time that there was like this lantern type of one. All I could think of is like those Chinese lanterns that they light and like put out into the sky at night. It looks like that, but where I lived, there was very unlikely that anything like that was going on, especially at the time that I was out there. So something like that came into the yard, and as soon as it got too close, it just dissolved into itself. It popped and disappeared. So I knew it wasn't one of those lanterns, but it looked like one of those lanterns when it first came in. So you may have some experiences like that. Now, the best thing I can give you for advice is try to maintain a vibration of unconditional love. Like, I used to put my hand over my heart and just kind of be like in this vibration of love, love, love. Like, I would repeat the word love, 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 love over and over, so that I wouldn't go to fear, so that I wouldn't go to these other places in my mind, or I wouldn't freak myself out. And I'd do really, really good, always until they got so close, and then I'd freak out. And then there was the times where you go to sleep, and when I'm asleep, they'll come even closer. I've been taken onto ships in my sleep, like dream time, astral travel, where I've left my body, ended up in a ship, and I freaked out up there too, because the first time, I'm pretty sure it was the Andromedans. I got up onto a ship, and it was all these white beings, all white, kind of translucent, and they didn't really have much of a facial expression. And they all just looked at me, and I was like, and they could tell I was freaking out, so they started dancing, and that freaked me out even worse. So I slammed back into my bed. So again, if you freak out, they're going to leave. So try to always maintain this vibration of love, of peace, of feeling good, of feeling happy. Try not to freak yourself out, and they should stick around, and they should give you more of what you're, connecting with. So basically, this rite was given to Natalie Alea in 2009 after returning to Ireland from Peru. She was drumming with some other shamans. A group of Quero shamans came into the journey. So Natalie went to Peru in 2009, got the Munay-ki, came back to Ireland, and was with a group of her shaman friends. During her journeying, like her shamanic journeying and drumming, Quero shamans came into the situation. They came into her journey. And they told her about the rite, they gave her the rite, and they told her more information would come in with the rite as, time goes by. And what I feel like that means is that, me getting the rite in my experiences is more information. You getting the rite in your experiences is more information. So that's what I've noticed is, every time I give the rites, no matter which rite it is, people have their own experiences. So, the people that I, worked with in person, one-on-one, we'd go through 9 weeks of this thing, and I'd hear everything that they went through. I know everything I've been through. And there was over 100 people that I've done the rites with, so I've seen a lot of information come in, and I feel like it's kind of a personal journey. It's like whoever you end up connecting with, however you end up receiving and giving these rites, or however you just end up receiving them and processing them, that's the information that you're going to have in regards to the rites. So the Solstar rite connects you to your higher divine self that resides in the 8th chakra over your head, with your higher heart chakra, sometimes called the Thymus Chakra, between the traditional heart chakra and the throat chakra. It is seen as turquoise blue, and you'll feel the presence of dolphins and whales as spirit guides for this rite. So this rite actually connects with your high heart rather than your actual heart. If your high heart is not already activated, this rite will activate it for you. But most people, I feel like, have it already activated. And the presence of dolphins and whales come in. So the Syrian dolphins, the Syrian whales come in, they're guides for this rite. So we bring the presence of them in to do the activation. It was funny because if you did the package where I did all 3 of these rites together, at the point where I call in the dolphins and whales, there's one of these like big, huge things that comes in over my head, and I swear it's them. I was like, really cool looking, like this orb of light came in over my head right at the same time I was calling them in. So I know they showed up. And basically, the Quero also call this energy Mama Kocha, which means mother of the water, origin of life. So when we connect, you're going to be getting, you know, Pachamama for your solar plexus, Mama Kocha for your high heart, and Wera Kocha for your energy above your head. So your higher self is connected to source, is one with all, and holds the higher dimensional vibrations of our soul. And this rite connects to your 5th dimensional energies and above, from the 6th to the 12th. It brings this energy down to the 3D world where we are currently residing, and as we do this, you manifest and bring your soul purpose in this lifetime. This is important to complete our mission and to bring the higher dimensional energies into humanity. So basically, by anchoring this energy, by connecting with this rite, you're bringing the 6th to the 12th dimensional energies from above down into your crown, into your energy field, and it's helping you to align with your mission and your purpose in this lifetime. So this is a part of Ascension, and this Solstar rite connects us to the original soul source and family, or star beings of our original soul source. Many people connect and communicate with their star family much easier after receiving this rite. The lineage that you connect with is your original soul lineage. This helps you to be more focused on manifesting your soul mission and purpose. So basically, whoever you connect with for your star, you know, family as the guides and masters for this rite, or whoever shows up for you, will be your original soul source. So it will probably be, like if you did Kota Kuna Carpe, you know, the beings will probably show up from wherever you connected with in that one. But I feel like for some of you, you may originate before them, you know, because even in that rite, they say some of us it's Sirius, some of us it's Arcturus, some of it's Lyran, some of it's Sirian, some of it's Vegan, Avian. Whoever shows up, okay? So it doesn't have to be one of the 7 sisters or one of the 7 stars of the Pleiades. It may be from somewhere else. But when we did Kota Kuna Carpe, one of the 7 stars shows up for you, but you may have an original soul source that predates that 7 sister 7 chakra meditation energy. You know what I mean? Basically, I feel that many of the star beings, if you resonate as a star seed, if you resonate as being a Pleiadian, you could probably have other lifetimes, you know, that are either previous to that or after that. And a lot of times people get confused where they're like, I don't really resonate with this one, but it's showing up as their original. I feel that wherever you were last at is what you're going to resonate with the most. So if your most like recent lifetime was in the Pleiades, you're probably going to feel most predominant Pleiadian energy because that was where you just were. But say you were in the Pleiadian energy, and before that you were in the Arcturian energy, and before that you were in the Andromedan energy, the Andromedan is going to show up as your origin, but you may not feel such a resonance with it. Like for me, Pleiadian is my thing, like Pleiadian, all the way. But I know that I have Lyran, I know I have Andromedan, I know I have these connections to other places, so I know I've been there, but it's not as strong as the Pleiadian. And it's weird because when I did my original like thing, I saw myself in the light of Alcyone. So I feel like my core essence was created in Alcyone, but I feel like I traveled around a bit and then probably ended up in the Pleiades again before I came here, just because of how strong my connection is there. Or either that they are my original and I haven't figured it out fully yet. But I know I have these other ones. So it's like, it's for us to kind of figure out, you know, and to go through it. But when I did my soul retrieval, that was different from this. So I'd be interested to do a soul retrieval again, because the first time I did the soul retrieval, it was the first time I had ever done anything like that, like a past life meditation or anything like that. And the person who did it for me, I later found out wasn't, necessarily the best person to have helping me to do this stuff. So I still believe in what I saw. I still believe in the connection there, but I feel like there's a missing information. I feel like there's a lot of information that I didn't get. But for me, I never sit down and just do for me. I always do for everybody else, because when it's you, your ego blocks it. So like if I sit down to do automatic writing for myself, I'm going to doubt what I get. But if I do automatic writing for you, or I do automatic writing for somebody else, it's like just whatever comes through, comes through. I can get your origin, I can get your, stuff like that, and it just flows. But if it's for myself, I doubt it. The Alcyone Light Healing is helping me though, because that's giving me information that is coming through in a different way that does connect with myself, but it's still, some of it I'm probably not going to include into it, but some of it is definitely going to be included into it. So I think I'm going to figure out all of the missing pieces through Alcyone Light Healing. So that'll be good. But basically, you're going to get the energy of Pachamama to your solar plexus, you're going to get Mama Kocha to your high heart, and you're going to get Kocha to your crown. And this rite can be done separately or together with others. It's up to you how you want to do it. And it's done, usually done sitting in a chair. And basically you introduce the rite, and you can say, this is the Solstar rite. It will connect you to your star family, your original soul source, bringing more of your higher divine self, fifth dimensional, into your energy field, now in 3D, and helps you to manifest and complete your soul purpose and soul mission. You don't have to say all that, but you could just say, like, I'm now introducing, the Solstar rite to you. There is the manual in my Munay-ki-rites group with Bridget. If you go into the documents in there, or the files in that group, this manual is in there, so you can get all the information that's here that I'm reading to you now for yourself. And basically you center yourself to connect to your soul star energy over your head, and feeling that fifth dimensional energy, you activate your higher heart chakra, your solar plexus, you call in Pachamama, Mama Kocha, and Kocha. Standing behind the initiate, you place your hands on their shoulders to tune into their energy field and balance that masculine and feminine energy, just like we did for all of the other rites. So you'd be standing behind someone in the chair, and you'd be balancing, and then you open Kocha, you engulf your initiate, and then you can come to the front of them, and you can use your pie stone. And I think in this one we blow, move to the front with the initiate, the Solstar rite. Now it says to transmit the Solstar rite and Pachamama into the solar plexus. I'm pretty sure when she did it with me, she blew into it. So like I usually do that. You don't have to, but that's how I do it, is like I kind of go, I blow the intention of Pachamama into the energy of the pie stone, and then I bring it to their solar plexus, okay? And then once I feel like that has transferred and passed, I bring it back to me, and I connect with the energy of Mama Kocha, the high heart, the dolphins and the whales. I blow that in there, and then I bring that to their high heart until I feel like that has passed. And then I come back and I connect with the energy of Kocha, connecting with the energy of the rite, blowing that in, and I bring that to the crown, and I just allow that to transmit. And then once I feel like that is completed, I do the forehead to forehead, and then I would go back around that person and close Kocha. So it's pretty simple. Again, you just start behind them, bringing in that energy of the rite. You center yourself. I always open Kocha and then balance their energies. I think she has it written the opposite way. But like I said, just like when you're doing Munay-ki, when you're doing any of these rites, whatever feels right is what you want to do. Like, you don't want to be up here thinking, because then you're not channeling. You want to do what feels good to you and what feels appropriate. if you forget what you're doing, just do the forehead to forehead, because that's where all the information jumps, and that's what they do in Peru. So it's like all this extra stuff, like the pie stone, all these extra movements and all these things have been added after the fact. So as long as you're holding sacred space and you create big sacred space for yourself and the people that you're doing this with by calling the directions, which I will do in the beginning of the video. And then you open Wiracocha, which is that sacred space energy, balance, and then move to the front of them. And you just connected that energy and that frequency of the Rite, calling in Pachamama, the spirit of the earth, which is what Pachamama is. You bring that to their solar plexus. So you're bringing the power of Pachamama, the power of the spirit of the earth, to their solar plexus. And then you're bringing the energy of Mama Cocha, the healer of the waters, the origin of life, the dolphins and the whales, their wisdom, their consciousness, their energy, to the high heart. And then you're connecting with Wiracocha, which is all of that information of the soul, of the source energy above the head. All of their information that's going to assist them with connecting to their purpose. All of the information is going to connect them with their, star family, their original star family. Bring that to the crown. And then third eye to third eye. And then you can go right back behind them and close Wiracocha, and you're good. Okay? So that is how we do the Solstar Rite, and I think I've shared most of the information that I have about it. So if you're somebody that hasn't done it yet and wants to do it, the little link will be down below for you to do it. If you're somebody that did it in the other package, then you already have it and you just got more information about it. Now you know how to share it and all of that. So I'm going to go do the Rite after I cool down the room a little bit. And thank you guys very much. In Munay, namaste.